Now we can have other queries for geospatial data. For example, we want to see if a particular person is inside an area. So this was the polygon that we created, and we had these coordinates, these 4 points. Also, we have to write the first point again so that this becomes a polygon, complete polygon. So now we were using this in the find query. Now we insert it into this areas collection. So we have this one, this one polygon inside of areas collection as a document. So then we create a new index. So now for new a person with point and coordinates this, if we want to see if that particular person is inside that area of polygon, we use this geo intersects dollars and geo intersects this operator, and then with geometry we give this point and coordinates. We cannot use geo within here because that would mean that that area is inside this person with this point and coordinates, that will not make sense. So we use this, this is the intersection of both the areas, so we get this result. That means these coordinates are inside of this polygon, and we write another some other coordinates. We see these on Google Maps on this particular location. So these coordinates are outside of that polygon area, so we don't get any. And these were the four places, four documents that we had in places collection. Now we want to see if a particular area is within a radius that we define with these coordinates. So we use geo within here and we write this center sphere for a particular radius. So this will create a circle with that radius, and these coordinates are given. We take this from Google Maps again, and this is 1 kilometer. So this would tell the radius. We divide by, this is the radius of equator, Earth's equator. We divided by this to use it with this query. So we get these 2 points. So these two places with these coordinates are inside the radius whose coordinates we gave here. Now we are studying aggregation. Aggregation is like an alternative to the find queries. Here we are getting an output after doing multiple steps, which is called aggregation pipeline. In each stage, the output of a previous stage is used as the input of the next stage. So first stage takes the input directly from the collection, and then it does some transformation and then give it to the next stage that will be used as input for the next stage. And like this, we pass the data from from some stages, and that will do the complete transformation and give the output in whichever way we need. So it can have similar functions to find also. For example, we have a match operator that is used to filter out the data with this aggregation function. So here we had a person's data. So we use Mongo import to import that collection here, which is 5,000 documents. So here we have all this information. We can have a lot of stages that we can use in different ways, in different orders to get a final output. in whichever way we need by using aggregation. So here, for example, instead of find, here we write this aggregate, and we write this query, we use match. So uh, the first stage in the aggregation pipeline will take data directly from collection, but instead of taking the complete data, we can take complete data also, but we can also filter out the data that we need to send to the next stage. So here we are writing gender as female. So this is what we want to fetch in this particular stage. So we have all these documents with gender female only. And just like the find query, this also gives a cursor here, and then we have to type IT for more. So now we go to the next stage in the aggregate pipeline. We want to group. So this group operator takes multiple documents and merge them into one. So here we decide what we want to group the data with. So we use underscore ID here. We saw earlier that we use that only with object ID, but here we can have in document here in the ID. So we had the states in it is a nested document inside of a location document here. If we want to group by that, we want to see first we had this match and gender female. We want to filter out the female gender from particular states, and we want to group them each state, all the female gender in each state we want to group them, and then we write another field here. We give any name like total persons, and this sum one means we want to add all the documents that we have, like all the female genders within a particular state. We want to get the sum of them. So when we run this query, we just get this states, one particular state, and then total person. We add the total number of this female gender in this particular state. So we see that we have multiple stages here that we use to transform the data from the initial collection. So this second stage will not take any data from the collection. This will take the output of this first stage as its input. So now this data is completely unsorted. So we can have another operator here. There are a lot of operators that we can use with aggregation. So to sort them after the group stage, we can have another stage that is called sort. We can now sort, for example, by this total persons. So we add the sum of all the persons from one particular state. So if we want to sort them in descending order, so then the highest number of persons in one state would be at the top, and then it is sorted in this descending order. Now we have this project operator. This is similar to the projection that we had in find. So this will give the complete information about how we get the data, how we display it. So we have all these fields that we can give here. For example, we don't want ID in the result data. We want gender, we put that as one. And then, for example, if we want the full name of each person. So first and last name, we have to uh, write the query of how we want the name to be displayed. Then we have this operator. This can be used to concatenate the result that we want to display. So we can have first and last name and put that inside this concatenate operator as an array. And then in first and last name also, we want to give the name in proper format, like capital letter for the first letter should be capital in both first and last name. So first we use this operator to upper, and then for the substring, for just first letter of first and last name, we want to give this. So then we use that inside of this document, and then we give inside of an array, we use this dollar sign to name and first. So we go inside this embedded document, and then we write this substring at 0 position. So first substring would be converted to uppercase by using this. And then this tells for how many strings we want to do this operation. So for just first, so 1 we write here. And then for rest of the substrings, we can define that completely here, that we don't want them to be in uppercase. So we use this subtract operator. So whatever put inside this array, the second would be subtracted from the first. So we have this string length. And this operator tells the string length. So complete string length of the word. And then we subtract the first one from that first substring. So this will give the rest of the string of the word first. This for first name, and similarly we can do the same for the last name. So we get this in the proper format that we wanted. So we add gender as one here, so we get the genders and then the full name. We use this name and then this first and last name with the first letter of both as capital. Now for example, we want to write another query for project operator. So this we use as the first stage now. Also for project, we don't want we don't want to filter out any data from the collection. We are telling how to display this data in the output to give it to the next stage to get the final output. So we want to do this operation to the complete collection. So that's why the project is the first stage here. Now we are using this as the first stage. If we want to use more fields to be displayed in the output of project, so we get this name and email, and then birth date. So this was the ISO date, which was in the given as the string. So we can also convert that to the date format by using this convert operator. The input is this inside the nested document, then we use this dollar sign to get into that, then convert it to the date format. And then the age we get from this nested document age. And then also if we want to get the geospatial location of a person, then type point and coordinates. We have this longitude and latitudinal coordinates. So these are also in the strings when we don't convert that in just try to put like this will be displayed as string. So here we can convert that to double. So this will give the exact coordinates as numbers. And then we write this own error or own null as 0, 0. If there are some missing values in the data set, so this will be corrected. And then in the previous step also that we had earlier, we write this after that, and then we use the information from here into this, the location. So now we are using location and birth date also. We define the proper format for that here, and then we are using that in this stage. So when we display that, get this. Location, type and coordinates here. So this is in numbers and strings, and then all the other email, birth date, age, and full name. So we had these stages. Now if we want to group the data after these stages, for example with birth year, not the birth date but the year of birth exactly. So inside id we write this, and then inside that we give a nested document. Use this operator ISO week here to get the birth date by using this dollar sign birth date, and then we get write the sum. We give this name, number of persons. So if we want to see the number of persons born in each year, and then here we sort that in descending order. So we get this data, number of persons 309 means 1955 year. Also we get this in the long number format by using this. Now we create a new collection here and insert many documents. For example, the 3 documents with name, hobbies, age, and exam scores. Exam scores is an array and hobbies is an array. So here we can use aggregation function with arrays also. So then dot friend dot aggregate. So here we can use this hobbies and then group by age. Then we write this new field all hobbies. So when we have these arrays, we can use this push operator. For example, we want to get all the ages and all the hobbies with that a particular age inside of one single array, because they are in multiple arrays. So to put them in one single array, we can use this push operator here. So we get this for 29, we get this for hobbies, and cooking is repeating here because it is in multiple documents. So this will be put in one array for all the data that we had in multiple arrays is put into this one array.